Welcome to Silicon Scoop, where we dive into the latest tech news impacting the world. Join John Irwin and the Startup Coach as they explore the tech news that matters to you. Stay ahead, stay informed, and now on with the show.
The moon is no longer just a destination, it's a gas station and a hardware store. Blue Origin's Air Pioneer reactor just proved we can literally cook moon dust into breathable air and rocket fuel, slashing the cost of space travel by 60%. So moon dust becomes our lunar life support system. Blue Origin has successfully demonstrated that the Air Pioneer reactor, which extracts metal-grade oxygen from simulated lunar soil, isn't a lab experiment. It's a production-ready prototype that passed NASA's critical design review. This effectively ends our total dependence on Earth for survivability in space, making permanent lunar bases economically viable for the first time. What do you think about this, John?
Yeah, I think this is cool. Did I miss something that there's tons of oxygen on the moon? Because this is really the first time I've been hearing about this, and apparently everyone knows this. So the cool thing about lunar soil or regolith, it's composed largely of metal oxides. So silicon dioxide, aluminum oxide, iron oxide. And so these compounds, they contain 40 to 45% of oxygen by weight. So that makes oxygen the most abundant element on the moon. But it's chemically bound and unusable in its natural state. So the challenge has always been how to extract oxygen efficiently without bringing massive industrial infrastructure from Earth. And so there's this cool process. It's the most promising method as molten regolith electrolysis. So what happens is moon dust is heated to extremely high temperatures. We're talking 800 to 1,000 degrees Celsius. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit or higher. And it's melted into a liquid state. Then an electric current is passed through it, and then oxygen is released as a gas. Now, you get some byproducts of that. You get metals as a byproduct, iron, aluminum, etc. But this process essentially splits the chemical bonds and holds oxygen inside lunar minerals. And so the key advantage, it requires only regolith and energy, so no additional chemicals, and it produces oxygen and useful construction metals, which is pretty cool. So you get breathable oxygen and you get metals that you can use to build the infrastructure. Now, there are some hurdles that are going to remain in this. So let's reality check this for a second. Extreme temperatures are required. So there's a high energy demand in a harsh lunar environment. You're handling corrosive molten materials and trying to efficiently capture and storing oxygen gas within all of this. So even in large-scale tests, systems themselves, the test must operate in vacuum conditions, and materials degrade quickly under thermal stress. So there's still a lot to think about, but I like this. This is kind of cool. This makes it promising for us to establish bases and makes it much more easy for us to establish bases, don't you think, on the moon?
Oh, absolutely. And to comment on your first thing about oxygen on the moon. We knew there was oxygen on the moon when we found ice. But we didn't really know about this, that we could pull it out. So I just wanted to, and ice wasn't as abundant enough for this and all that kind of stuff. So this changes this. Think of this update like a magical oven that takes a bag of dry, dusty flour and turns it both into oxygen you can breathe and the electricity that runs your house. You aren't even bringing the bread from home anymore. You're just harvesting the dirt in the backyard to build the whole bakery. So full autonomous Earth-based demo happening in 2026 with lunar deployments targeted for late 2020s. Not sure what we're targeting, 2028, 2029. Fully integrated with NASA's Artemis program and future commercial colonies. It operates at 1 megawatt, enough to power 1,000 Earth homes. Outputs 99.999% pure silicon and medical grade oxygen. The oxygen makes up 45% of the lunar regolith by weight, so this process unlocks it all. So this is really, really cool, and it explains why things like Elon Musk are moving towards launching rockets from the moon versus Earth and building a base there to refuel and do stuff as oxygen and whatnot becomes more available in these types of tools, because it becomes easier to do that from the moon. And takes less resources from us and be able to mine the resources there. So the byproduct is so pure that it is semiconductor grade, allowing for the 3D printing of solar panels directly on the moon without using a single toxic chemical. The project was developed at Blue Origin Space Resource Center of Excellence in LA. It's a massive 60,000 square foot facility dedicated entirely to living off the land in space. The oxygen purity was verified using the exact same flight metrology hardware NASA uses at the Kennedy Space Center, meaning this stimulated air is already clean enough and cleared for astronauts' lungs. The power requirement is pretty big. Running a 1 megawatt reactor on the moon requires a nuclear fission surface system or a football field solar-sized array, neither of which are fully developed yet. So we'll have to figure out if we can power this thing. Any final thoughts on this, John?
No, this is super interesting. I'm curious to see how we solve the energy problem, but yeah.
We're moving from camping on the moon to living on the moon thanks to a reactor that turns gray dirt into gold. If you were offered a one-way ticket to a lunar base powered by moon dust, would you take it? Or is Earth's atmosphere still the only air you trust? Let us know in the chat.
Tired of drowning in repetitive tasks while your competitors race ahead? Every minute you spend on manual data entry, scheduling, and routine processes is a minute you're not growing your business. Flowgrammer.ca transforms your workflow chaos into seamless automation. We build AI-powered systems that handle your busy work so you can focus on what actually makes you money. Our clients typically save 15 plus hours per week and see their productivity double within 60 days. Visit flowgrammer.ca for a free automation audit. That's flowgrammer.ca. Stop working in your business and start working on it.
What do you got going on, John?
Just plugging away, helping companies with government funding, attending events, probably startup drinks or a Flowgrammer event. How about you, Craig?
Lots of stuff going on. I honestly don't know when this is going out. I have to check. I think it's going to go out in April. But there's all sorts of stuff going on. If you don't know about OpenClaw, it's the latest AI automation agent that's taken the world by storm in 2026. And OpenClaw Toronto chapter just launched. And we have all sorts of events going on. So check out openclawto.com. Our first demo night is April 14th. We have a Builder Cafe on April 10th. We have a bunch of other events. There's updates every day. We've deconstructed the latest 2 betas over the weekend that was launched in OpenClaw and what you should do about them. There's a bunch of articles over there. Go check that out. We're also over at flowgrammer.ca where we do N8N automations. We run the Flowgrammer community and do Builders Hub and connectivity for AI and business automation agents. And for everything else, head over to TorontoStarts where we hook up startups and investors at our Startup Investor Drinks. We do mentoring, we do workshops, we have a list of investors. There's a whole bunch of content over. You can also book me over there if you want a meeting with me to talk about whatever, help your startup. Check out TorontoStarts.com. But John, if people are looking for non-dilutive funding, where should they go and what is that?
Yeah, non-dilutive funding. We're talking government grants, tax credits. Come find me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. Right now is Shred Time, SRNED. But come reach out to me too if you've got a startup, if you've got a company. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and if they have company questions about their startup in general, where do they find you, Craig?
Yeah, find me at TorontoStarts.com. But John, just before we go, something's open right now, and it's closing May 31st. Thank you. Can Export. And what?
Yeah. So
what
if
should
you have
people
at
know
least
about that?
300,000 in revenue in the previous year, and you're looking to expand outside of Canada, reach out to me, and we can put together. We can talk about an application for Can Export.
All the links we talked about will be in the show notes wherever you're watching this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leave us a comment, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Silicon Scoop. We hope you enjoyed this episode's dive into the latest tech news. Stay connected with John Irwin and the Startup Coach on LinkedIn and subscribe for more insights and updates. Until next time, stay ahead, stay informed.